Hello. Hey, everybody. Hi.
Hey.
Hello,
Oh, man.
hello.
It's weird. I can still hear his voice sometimes.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I survived. I
You
survived.
hear that? Is that just me? Man.
I'm right here. We're sitting across from each other. I'm looking at you.
Oh, God. Free me, spirit. What's up, everyone?
We'll work on the miscommunication issues. I'm alive. This is like my body. I am not dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, hello everybody. As always, it is me, Vesper Noir of HOLOSTARS English and a member of Guild Tempus. And tonight, super excited, I get to interview the great Magni Dezmond. He's here hanging out with me right now. Magni, do you want to introduce yourself and we can?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I appreciate you putting the honorific. A lot of people forget the great part, but yes, I am the great Magni Dezmond, Alchemist of Tempus, HOLOSTARS English. Thanks for having me today, Ves.
Oh, no problem. You set a really high
I'm sorry,
bar.
that was like super podcast. That was like super podcasty. I don't know why I went with it. It's like, yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, Ves.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to a podcast. I feel like the four of us can just chat we do chat for like hours, right? And it's like,
I know.
might as well make money off of it, right? Like, but yeah,
Altair. I'm super excited for that. I know Altair's been, I think mentioned it in his stream. I think, or he's been mentioning it. But all the boys are super down, excited to do that. So yeah,
especially because I think especially the two of us, me and Altair, we actually do. Not watch. We listen to podcasts a lot. Like I used to listen to it on my commute to work to the library. I used to listen to it when I was exercising or just out, doing stuff. So it's like I'm an actual podcast fan. So
I go in like swings. There'll be periods where I listen to a bunch of podcasts and then I'll be not listening to anything, and then I'll kind of pick them back up again, and it'll be like the only thing I listen to, kind of like anime.
Oh yeah, kind of the same, yeah. Anywho, are you guys excited? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the interview? I have a couple that I want to be like canon questions because I find them really interesting. This is just like personal interest in getting to know people better, and then I have a couple questions that I had like I'm going to tailor to each person. So like, just because I think we're all like so incredibly different, right? Like every member of Tempus is just completely different. There's like almost no overlap, and we're just like. I feel like if we just met each other in real life, it would be like, wow, this person's completely different from me. I'm on guard. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Let's jump into it.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, same question as the same first question that I asked Axel. If you had $1,000 like in your hand right now, it just like appeared in your hand, and you could spend it on anything, what do you buy with it?
Probably streaming gear, equipment. I'd probably buy like a second computer, a new tablet, new drawing tablet, like a nice desk, and
he's such a hard worker, right? Like we're not blowing smoke when we say that like this guy lives for his work. It's like insane. So you have $1,000, and I think Axel was like, I buy food with it or something stupid like that. Right? And you're like, no, I would buy a second.
Actually, wait, hold on, $1,000. What am I saying? I can't buy a new tablet. I can't even build a second computer with that. So actually, like if I could only have $1,000 in what I would buy, man,
how much are tablets? Are they over $1,000?
Oh, they're over $1,000. Well, I mean, what did they say? It's the artist, not the whatever people say. But for the like the bigger like the go-to brands like the Cintiqs, right? Wacom Cintiqs.
Yeah.
It's over $1,000. I mean, mine was. I don't know if I got scammy whammy, but mine was over $1,000. That's like my baby. I literally don't know what I would do if that like broke or something.
Okay. This might be going like really into something really detailed, but if you were to upgrade from your current baby, like your tablet, like what does it need to be better suited? To
just bigger. Bigger is better, baby.
Is that
am
like
I
actually
right
true?
or am I right, chat? But mine's pretty big already. I don't know if it's like 21 inches or maybe it's like 24, but they make like these giant ones with the buttons on the side and everything.
I see.
Okay. Actually, going back to your question, I very specific, but I would probably buy 3 really good mounts, like tablet screen or monitor mounts. I don't know if this is bad to like name drop the thing, but like I have this really good one, the Ergotron brand. It's like $300, but it's like super, super nice on my tablet. And it can handle a lot of weight. So I'd probably get like 3 of those bad boys, put it all on my monitor screens. I love like, what do you call it? Despite my terrible back posture, I love like, is it ergonomics? Is that what it's called? Like the being optimal, like posture and efficiency and whatnot. Yeah, I'm really into that. So,
have you ever mentioned that on stream? Like, I've watched most of our streams unless I'm prepping. But
no,
I've never
I don't
heard
think
that you have
so.
terrible posture.
In fact, you know, I really am just like myself. I talk more than I usually do in a day, but I think I've made a bad rep for myself. I'm not some kind of unhinged gremlin, you know? I'm just, you know, maybe a little frazzled here and there, but yeah.
I would say that you're like a born entertainer. Like, I feel like you're, as soon as your brain is like, oh, Chad is going to get a kick out of that if I say this, you just say it. And there's no moment where you're like, maybe I shouldn't say that. I
do get a little like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like, I am myself, but when the stream starts and I get a little bit of time to warm up, I definitely get, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's like, you know, in like those old space movies when they hyperdrive and the stars get stretched out.
Yes,
that's what happens to me.
Okay.
It's Desmond's streaming mode has activated. I don't know. This might be super specific, but in one of the latest Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Yondu and Rocket Raccoon, they're in the ship, and he's like, how many jumps did you program? It's like 1,000, 1,000, and their faces are all getting stretched.
That's like, you. That's pretty much you.
Yeah, sorry. I speak in movie quotes most of the time. That's my main form of communication is movie references.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Pretty cool. Yeah, so it's just definitely you're always looking to like upgrade your streaming content or like just content in general, which is like really admirable. I think Axel would be the opposite end of the spectrum, and then I think I'm a balance.
We give that kid too much of a bad rep as well.
I mean, he's just buying food.
He's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker, but like all of his money is probably just going to be dumped into food. Like I feel like all of the like within like a 5-mile radius of where he lives in Northern Elysium, like all of the fast food joints are just going to be raking in cash, and they're going to be like, right, where's all this money coming from? Right? Like, and then I think I'm next to Axel. I've got like a pretty healthy balance, and I have a lot of like stuff that I would want to buy off stream. You know, like I've got a lot of hobbies that require upkeep. And then I think Altare would be kind of like you, where he's very focused on his content and stuff would go back into the content. And you're like the extreme end, where I feel like your clothes are all like frazzled and stuff like that, just because you don't like buy clothing or like essentials for living, and it just goes all into like streaming. You know, like
you know the meme where it's like, dang, you live like this?
Yeah, that's you.
I'm still sitting in my pancake filth, by the way. I was too lazy and tired to clean that up. It's when I walked into my my laboratory, the Dark Souls boss music's played and a health bar spawned, and I was like, oh, what is this? It's the pancake filth has become sentient.
And it's like, Father, why have you created me, Father? Oh man, that's bad. My throat is still like pretty raw from the hot sauce.
Oh yeah, so I mean, honestly, like watching you, based on the audio, like it sounds like you took it pretty well. Because I mean, I don't know if they're overplaying it, but like in that certain online show, some of them like they're like dying. You know, I mean, I don't want to underplay. I'm sure you suffered, but. You seem to take it pretty well.
Some of them are just weak, you know. Like I'm not weak like them. Like
only the strongest survive.
Yeah, like I won't name drop just in case like you know it gets clipped and then they're like, oh, this guy's talking shit. But like some of them are fairly weak, and it's just kind of
some of them dip out before they like get to the end.
Yeah, like I think the weakest I've seen dipped out at like 4, which is like,
oh no, I've dug myself into a hole now, because then people are just gonna reference like, oh, Magni, remember when you said that was like. Weak, you know, and then you're gonna make me eat it, and I'm gonna be like suffering as well.
Oh, when we meet up finally, which might take a while, guys. Like, don't think that it's gonna happen quickly. It'll probably take a while, but when we all meet up, I'm definitely bringing my sauces. Like, they've got a little briefcase style thing going on because it's pretty expensive.
They're going to detain you at the airport. You can't bring these noxious.
I'll mail it. I'll mail it ahead of time to like cover HQ or like wherever we decide to collab. Like I'll mail it and then I'll pay for it out of pocket. Anyways,
I enjoy spice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like this style is just like, it's no longer about like people that like spicy. It's just like it's like a flexing contest, right? It's like, oh yeah. And I don't have any pride. I just thought it would be good content.
It was, dude.
Thank you. Okay, we're having too much fun like bantering. I feel like we have to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. Question number two. This one is definitely tailored specifically to Dez. You have a very, very unique approach to art, specifically like the speed, right? Like the speed. I've never seen anyone draw like better art quicker than you, and it's just like, how does he do that, right? Can you tell us a bit about the path that you took to develop your style? Like,
yeah, I guess the speed thing is very weird to me because that's nothing I've ever consciously tried, and I've never even heard that about myself until we debuted, and you guys and chat told me that. Like, I've never heard that about myself because, you know, I've never really like been drawing for a live audience. I don't know. I just yeah, I mean, I do remember going down to the pier and seeing like those street artists do caricatures and stuff. And at theme parks and stuff, and I always thought that was cool. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I definitely have like a Western influence in terms of style. You know, stuff like comic books and comic strips mainly too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like very impatient, and I think I don't know what you call it. I have like I think I am like a motivated and focused individual, but I just don't have the patience for like anything, you know, very like tunnel vision-y. Like if I'm into it, I'm into it, and I just can't be bothered if that's not the thing I want to do. And so drawing, like I lose my, like I can't work on a piece for more than like one sitting. It gets boring to me. Or the opposite, like I can't stop. Like I need to finish this full thing now, even if it takes like hours and hours and hours. Because I that bad feeling of stopping the piece or coming back to it, leaving it unfinished, it just like gnaws at me. So I don't know. I guess maybe that's part of it.
It's an interesting mindset. But like I've watched you draw several times, both on stream and off. And the thing that strikes me, because I actually, my favorite type of streamer to watch is art streamers. I just like watching it. It's like very relaxing to me. Just like the insane line confidence that you have, right? Like you put a line down and you're like done, and you move on to the next one. I've never seen any other art streamer do that. They put down several lines, right? Like no, erase, no, erase, no, erase. And it's like, oh, I kind of like that, but I need to resize it, right? Like you don't do any of that. You just like, you put down one line and it's done. And it's like, in my mind, it's like this is the sign of like a kung fu master that's done the same punch like 50,000, like a million times, and they don't. It's like Netero, right? Like
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Is there a secret to that confidence where you just put down the line once and it's done? Like that's like really the
yeah. I mean, I think in my when it comes to like art, there's a lot of like, you know, a lot of people just like to say like, oh, you're a good artist, right? Like this person is a good artist, this person is a better artist than that person, and then, or like I'm not an artist. But as an artist, there's a lot of different skills. Like forget the different mediums, of course. Like animation is a completely different thing from just illustration, and concepting and storyboarding is completely different to that. And then there's also 3D. And then you get into the more abstract stuff where it's like conceptualizing and editors and stuff like that's like more ancillary to traditional art than and then like, you know, singing and stuff like that, of course. But for me, like I think my strength as an artist is not really speed, and it's definitely not like really traditional skill. Like I'm not a good like renderer. Like I can't really make finished pieces. In fact, I don't think I've ever made a finished piece in my life. With like a full background and everything. But I think I'm really good at conceptualizing it in my head, like having a very clear image in my head of what I want to convey on the canvas. So yeah, and you know, I do erase lines every now and then. You know? But,
once in a while, you will erase a line. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Like, because you know, I mean, this might go a little too far, but when people say like, "Oh, I can't draw," right? They say that they boil it down to like quote unquote, being able to draw. But I don't think that like, I think you're better than you are. I think what your problem is, or not like you, as strong man, right? Like, for someone who can't draw, they would say like, "Oh, well, I can't." I say like, "Draw a horse." It's like, "Oh, I can't draw. I don't know how to draw. I'm not a good drawer." I think it's more like you have a harder time conceptualizing a horse in your head and visualizing a horse. Mm-hmm. Like when I say to you, think of a horse, you're like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now. It's in my head." But really, if you really boiled it down, you actually are. I think that image in your head is less clear than you might like want to believe it is. And I think artists have like, well, for me, I think if I did have to boil it down to like, what is your skill in art? It's like, I think I'm better at that than other people. Like I can imagine it in my head better. Like one of my favorite artists is Kim Jong-gi. He's a Korean artist, and you might be familiar if you're in tune with like art on social media. He's really good at like, he makes these giant mural pieces, and without any reference lines or any sketching, it just like comes on with a pen, you know. And I think people were like, "Oh, he's such an amazing artist," but you know, for me, I think he might have said this too somewhere, but you know, he's super good at conceptualizing it. He knows what it's in his head very clear.
Interesting.
And, yeah.
Do they teach? Is that something that they teach? Like, if you're like being traditionally trained, like conceptualization is something that's really important, because I've never heard of it before. Like I've never.
No, well, I mean, I don't think so. Like when I think, thought about my art classes, which is, you know, a mixed bag in itself, like going to school for the arts and stuff. But you know, but that was never anything that came up. You know, because everyone focuses on like, this is the brush you want to use, or like, this is what a masking layer is, and you know, or like, don't outline with black, or whatever they say. But how you develop your own style and stuff, like that's the more conceptual stuff. You can't really teach that, because that's what defines an artist. Well, I don't know. That's kind of maybe a really big statement to make, but I
can see that. I could.
Yeah.
I mean. The third question, I guess, ties into it, because you've already mentioned an artist that you really admire. Are there any artists that have like significantly influenced your style or your approach to art? And then like, in what ways did they influence you?
For inspiration, probably I've talked about the Sonic comics. Like I really enjoyed. There's one comic cover artist. I think his name was Spaz something, but for comic books, you know, you get different artist features, and there's like reoccurring artists, and there's like a cycle. And whenever this guy, I was always like, wow, that's so cool, very dynamic. And then you were always disappointed because the actual comic illustrator is different from the cover artist. And I was like, wait, why is it not good anymore? In terms of style, I loved Calvin and Hobbes as a kid. I think that
I can kind of see it. Kind of.
Yeah. Early comic strip stuff I really enjoyed. Calvin Hobbes type stuff. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but so definitely like more Western, quote unquote Western influence. I don't know. I mean, I had already started to develop my style at this point, but Newgrounds for me was a big inspiration.
Yes, Newgrounds.
I'm a Newgrounds kid for
me
sure.
Me too.
The Madness animations. For me, I haven't really kept up with him in a long while, but Ego Raptor was a huge inspiration for me for my art. And like I think like laid the grounds for like kind of my comedic like inspirations too. But Newgrounds, like all. So I mean, were you talking about this is the ultimate show?
Yeah,
you talked about that, right?
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun. Like that kind of stuff. I ate that stuff up as a kid.
Oh man, I feel like you might be the only person that might be able to recognize this with me. Like, you know the crappy little comics that Ego Raptor used to do, and my favorite one is like Dudley Gets Fast Food. It's like, I would like some waffle fries. And it's like,
Yes,
I would like some chicken nuggets and some waffle fries or something. And then like a little grandma is like slowly getting closer, and he goes, close counter. Like, he's just like,
Oh man, yeah, I love Eagle Raptor. Is definitely like, I would have lost my mind if I ever got to. Oh my gosh, yeah, I was a huge Eagle Raptor fan. Again, like I haven't really kept up with what he's been doing.
Same.
I don't think has he. I don't know if he's even been animating in the past few years, but
what I've seen of him, it's become an in-joke where he actually calls out people that are like, oh, I miss when Eagle Raptor used to do art, and then he just is kind of like, ha ha, funny, like, you know.
Oh, I see.
And he has like no intention of like getting back into it.
Yeah.
Just because people are like heckling him, so it's just kind of like, yeah, let the man do what he wants, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than that, yeah, very. The Spider-Man comics also was a huge inspiration for me.
Interesting.
I don't know the artist name, but there was one where it was the symbiote arc with Venom, and it was like super heavily stylized, like, you know, big proportions, very exaggerated. Like I love exaggerated proportions, very dynamic lines and stuff.
Yeah, I just think like I really like and admire your pieces because for one specific reason, which is like I feel like for writing and for like traditional art, like illustrations and stuff like that, the goal is to kind of subtly guide the people that are like watching or reading your piece to like a specific emotion. It's not even like an idea. Like I want them to think this way. It's more like I want them to feel this, right?
Yeah.
Like I want them to feel anxious or happy, or I want them to think it's hilarious, or I want them to be, you know, like an emotion or like a state of mind. And I feel like the goal is usually like if 50% of your audience feels what you want them to feel, then that's success. But I look at your art pieces and I feel like you're closer to like 80 or 90%. Like your ability to get people to feel a certain way just by each individual piece is like close to 80 to 90%, which is like freaking nuts, you know? Like I mean, that's why like your opening screen, we were watching you make that like ahead of time, but like as I was watching you tune in, it's like I know exactly what you're trying to get me to feel. And then like everybody that looks at it is like,
oh, that's good to hear. That's actually really, really good to hear. I feel that's what an artist wants to hear.
Yeah.
More than like, oh, this piece looks nice. Also, someone said it in the chat. It was the Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, and
Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah, and McFarlane for sure. Also, I do want to say, like, I feel like I'm coping a little bit because like finished pieces and like clean line art and stuff, that's a skill in itself, and that's something I'm not good at. Because every time I try that, I'm very dissatisfied with my work. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess like it's good for any type of artist to just be aware of like avenues and paths for them to like branch out to and grow if they want to, or if they don't want to, they don't need to, right? Just because like if you're ever like I'm perfect, you're done. Like you're never gonna get better.
Yeah. Also, it's just like especially I've never worked in the industry as like an artist. But I think when I was young, it was like get good at everything. I think nowadays that's not the I don't want to give like freaking career advice, but like, you know, I don't think it's the best thing to try to be good at everything in terms of like the more traditional art mediums, you know, because like if I have done this, but when I'm looking for people that I want to work with, I pretty much go for people that are specialists, right? You always want to go for specialists. I don't think that's like a crazy thing to say. You know, you want a background, you go to background artists. You want storyboarding, you go to storyboard. I mean, this is how things have run for like a long time, I think, in the industry. But yeah, so don't be my point is that when I was young, I tried to get good at everything. But you know, don't feel too bad if you're not good at a certain area of art. And that doesn't apply to like traditional art too. I think that applies to any sort of creative medium. Like, do what you're good at, right?
And that's definitely something that you can't learn overnight just because somebody is like do it. Like you just have to over time, like you're working at it, and then you learn it based on your. It's like something that can only come from experience, right? And we're the elder members of Tempest by age, so it's kind of like you just have to learn it just by making the mistakes, right? It's good advice.
Yeah, really quickly, this is the last thing I'll say. I think we should move on from the art stuff. We could sit here and talk about art for an hour.
Yeah.
The jump that took me, that I went from doing like drawing on pen and paper with like markers to a digital. My first tablet was the webcomic Two Kinds. Tom Fishbuck, I think is the artist's name. But I read this webcomic Two Kinds, and I was like, what is this? It's like, how did he do this? It's like drawn, but like not actually. Like I don't understand. And then I was like, there's digital art. And I was like, there was a moment, you know, this is like crazy, I feel, if you're younger, but there was a time when it was like digital art was like, not everyone knew that you could just like draw on the computer, you know. Or there was like a moment where you had to consciously go like, oh, you can, there is like a tablet and stuff. And they were so freaking expensive back in the day, but yeah.
How much were they back then? I think I remember something called like Bamboo, and it's like pretty cheap, right?
That's the one I had. Oh, Wacom Bamboo, yeah.
It's like $100,
like
right? It's not too bad.
Back then it was like back then maybe it was a little more expensive back then, but yeah.
Interesting. Just like for personal stuff, like after we're done with this collab, could you link me the Two Kinds? Like I'm kind of curious to know what.
Oh, brother, sure.
Yeah. Please link it to me. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that is Markiplier's brother, I do believe.
No way.
Yeah, just coincidentally. I didn't even know that who Markiplier was. I don't even think he was a thing when I was reading that.
Might have been like a while back. Yeah. Okay, next question. We're gonna move away from the art. This is something that I asked Axel as well, and I think it's a good question to like get to know people, like on a personal level. What are the things that make you the angriest? And it could be a situation, it could be like a trait in a person, it could just be like what like makes you angry.
Yeah. You know, if they're an asshole, right? I know that like that sounds like a joke, but actually, you know, like your first impression of someone, I'm just like, man, this person just like doesn't got the right vibes. And it doesn't matter if you're an extrovert, introvert, you can always tell that they're like, I don't know. They're always looking, you know, these type of like that guy, quote unquote, that guy. Everyone knows, everyone has one of those guys. You all know that guy. And he's always just like trying to prove a point. Always trying to put you down about something. There's always that guy. Also, the thing that makes me the angriest in this world is animal cruelty. I
hate that.
Oh my gosh, nothing makes me like just absolutely boiling angry than like animal cruelty. Even just like I'll be out and about and it's hot and I'll see people like walking their dog without the little booties and I'm like, you piece of work. I can't like, I'm going somewhere, I can't like stop and like, cause a scene, but I'm like, how can you be so like just unable to empathize with just so. And that's the thing. They're not. What's worse is like not even. Well, I don't know if this is worse, but like the worst part is when you see that it's not that they're trying to be purposefully malicious. They're just like an idiot,
ignorant,
you dumb piece of work. You just like can't just think for more than 5. Like, oh, maybe it's like so hot. You know, it's just I hate animal cruelty so much.
Yeah. And you know, not even to that extreme where like they're actively like damaging. Like the paws of their pet by taking them on a walk when it's too hot. It's also like neglect, right?
Yeah.
Like I've seen people, I've gotten to know people and I'm like in the getting to know them phase and I see that like they just don't treat their pets the way that they need to and they're neglecting their pets. Like they don't
go to someone's place and their fur is like, you can tell it's like kind of matted and not like, I'm like, you.
Yeah, and it's just like that's a quick way for me to say like I don't think I want to get closer to this person. I can be polite, but I don't. Yeah, okay. That's a really good one. I think I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Axel's was a little bit more like I could see that, but I think you don't have to give it 100%. I'm okay with that. But then for you, it's just like yeah, man, like the pet things. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like remembering situations like that where I was just like instantly turned off from a person that I was getting to know. It's just like nope, no.
And sometimes you'll see like a story or something on like social media scroll and you're just like I don't even want to read this. I can't because I get started and I'll just be like laying in bed. It's like I can't get all heated right now. I hate it so much,
bro. I think people are calling us out for like, oh, you hate the people that neglect and don't treat their pets well, yet You both don't treat Axel very well.
He's not my pet.
I don't think so either, but I don't know. I don't know.
He's not my pet.
Maybe we should treat him better. I don't know.
Huh?
We should brush
no, it's kind of like
we should brush his hair more.
No. That's a different situation because like, if like pet owners, haven't you ever like looked at your little chonker and going like, you fat piece of, you disgusting, like chonky ass, like stupid, like idiot. Like it's, I don't, it's not that you mistreat your pet, but like, you know what I mean? Or like, look at you, you're so, like it's like endearing, it's just because you love them so much.
That's us with Axel. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. They're saying we need to brush his hair more because it's kind of funky looking,
Yeah. No, we keep our distance and we just like hit him with the garden hose.
Yeah. He's very bitey too. So like we'll get close to his hair and like he's got pretty sharp teeth. So we just tell him to do it and then we move on, right? That's a good answer. That's like a really good one, and I agree with you 100%. Okay. Next question. It's because I feel like we got a lot of people in our audience that also want to be VTubers or like content creators, and like for those guys, for those people, can you share any advice on what not to do, what to avoid, like just general advice, but like specifically like, hey, don't do this, like it's not a good idea. And I think they can get a lot of out of it.
I mean, oh my gosh, how much time do we have? Just stop me if I'm going on and on. But I think I was I wasn't thinking too much when I said this in my first stream. I don't know if I had the subject prepared, I might have said something else, but I think it's kind of a meme and people, it's like, oh, don't care about the numbers, but like actually it's legitimately a very big pitfall that I feel people fall into.
Interesting.
I know that like it's like, well, numbers, that's what makes you able to survive as a content creator, but it's never good enough. I cannot stress this enough. And you tell yourself you would be happy with whatever arbitrary number. It's never enough. It's never enough. First it's 1,000, then 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, hypothetically. And then, but what the importance of that is that it turns you away from what's important. Like, again, this advice, I'm going to assume that it's not going to be for people that are starting from zero. I'm going to assume you have some sort of motivation and you have some sort of idea, because there's so many other things we need to address if you want to go from like not wanting to be a content creator to like, well, maybe I'll start.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll find something. You'll find something that hits, and everyone can find something to work, to some degree. And once you do, it's very hard. And I feel so many people lose touch and they start to metagame themselves. So it's like, I made this thing and people like this thing. But now I'm trying to make things that people like instead of making the thing that they happen to like, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
And then you spiral out of control, and then you just lose in touch, and you're just like, what happened? It's hard to, and especially if I'm very happy to be in Tempus because we have people that we can ping pong off of and ask for advice and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're on your own, one, people aren't going to be as honest with you. And two, you just might not have people to talk to. So trying not to, I like to use the phrase like getting lost in the sauce, right? Don't get lost in the sauce. You have to, and don't get me wrong. Like, listen, I love money, man. And, I like attention, sure. But it's not about like me saying, be true to yourself. Right. Yeah. I mean, I am saying that, but it's not because it's like, the most important thing is to believe in yourself and do what you want to do. It's like, no. I get that it's like a market and whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you need to do that because if you don't, you will like fail because your content will reflect that. Everything's a balance, but yeah. So, and this is also touchy, but that also like, I feel people start to do that and they start to make content instead of value.
Content instead of value?
I don't want to call people out. I'm going to try to speak as generally as possible.
Yes.
Like making content. Oh my gosh, my viewers would love it if I.
ate really hot sauce.
Yeah, I was just about to say. You beat me to the punch. My viewers would love it if I did like a donation goal to eat hot sauce.
It's true, yeah.
Versus, but I mean, you're on the same coin though. Versus being very engaging and likable, which is also you, right? It's like, I'm gonna get a lot of. So that's the good way to do it, which you do, in which So it's like instead of worrying about the base, the core, the content, the personality, they're trying to like make content instead of making value, and that is just that won't lead you anywhere worth going to.
That's actually really
you're
good
just
advice.
gonna
It applies to me too. Something I need to think about. Okay. Interesting.
That's why I don't want to get too meta here, but I have a lot of ideas, and
definitely.
I have so many ideas. But if I'm being honest, my debut week, I tried to pick the most boring crap possible. Not gonna lie.
Is there a reason?
Because I wanted people to come watch me for me, not because I did some crazy art pancake stream or because I had some kind of weird wonky video idea or some skit or something. I just wanted to play I'm like, oh, Thief Simulator, this game looks garbage. Hey, if they watch this and they enjoy it, they'll watch me for anything.
We've lost permissions for Thief Simulator. It's gone. Sorry to any future HOLOSTARS that desperately wanted to play Thief Simulator.
Thief Simulator is watching right now.
Yeah.
He's wearing Magni merch and like a Magni headband and Magni light sticks. And he's like, yeah, he played my stream his first week. And he's like, he's like in the shower and that sad music
crying,
plays.
Yeah, he's like in fetal position.
In the shower. My tears don't dry, wondering why. My tears don't go.
So good.
Hey, do you guys know that Thief Simulator 2 is coming on Steam? You can go to Steam and put it on your wish list before it comes out. Thief Simulator 2 is coming out soon on Steam.
Make sure to click that affiliate link. It really helps us out,
Yeah. Go on add it to your wish list. The devs are looking for, people are looking forward to that game. So.
Oh man, we're so good at writing that line. I feel like the bonk sticks are ready, but it they can't push the button yet, It's like
No, I was speaking, facetiously or something.
Yeah,
this blank is it was. I enjoyed. I'm not gonna play something I dislike. All the content, I wanted to legitimately play Thief Simulator and Spore, but I was like, oh, these games, they're not coming for the game. That's for sure.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I had no idea that you set that parameter for yourself with planning the first week and stuff like that. That's actually really interesting to hear. I think you're interesting enough that you could pretty much be doing anything and people would still think it's funny just because you're so good at pushing the envelope and saying the things that people would be like, did he actually say that? And it's so good. It's so good. Okay, let's move on to that.
Speaking of which, Axel's playing Spore after this. I'm literally so excited to watch him play Spore after this. I'm literally so excited. I'm gonna be in that chat, guys. So
actually, I'm gonna because I know I'm gonna forget because it's such a good conversation. I need to redirect into Axel's.
Okay, I'll try and remind you.
Yeah, give me. No, I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh, right now. Okay. You just accidentally funnel everyone right now.
No. Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right. So we're gonna redirect into Axel. Good. I don't want to forget that. Okay, next question. This is another general question that I asked Axel as well. If you could have a single superpower, what would it be and why?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming just established canonical stuff we see in media, right? Because I would say just okay. You know how Dr. Manhattan points at people and makes them explode? I want to be able to do that.
What would you even call that power? Because it's like invisibility, flight, super strength, super speed. I want to be able to point at people and make them explode.
Yeah. Power. Strength. Which is also hilarious because he doesn't. I don't think he needs to point.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's just
I'm sure he doesn't need to point, but he's like you. And then in their last moments, he's pointing at it. And they're like, oh god, no.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the question. Why do you want that power? Like, for what reason do you want
to kill
this?
people? Yeah. Yeah. It's also funny because like he's so powerful, he could probably just like make him disappear forever, you know.
Yeah, he could just
you know, but he like, and it's like visceral, right? It's like the guts are flying everywhere, and blood splatters everywhere, you know, because he could just be like, boop, and they like disappear. But no, it has to be like this visceral. Bleh, you explode you.
You're just that's.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tell myself that I like this question because it helps me get to know people better more. And I feel like my understanding of you, of Magni Dezmond as a person, has actually gone down. It hasn't gone up. There's like more questions. There's more questions now than there was before.
Well, okay, so for me, it's more of a comedy thing. Like I explained to it, like how it's like he could just make people disappear. Why does he point at them? You know, very like grandiose. I want that power because it's very absurd. You know, it's just like why? It's just like so crazy.
So,
just
so
like,
are you telling me that like if like Yago granted you this power, like you just wouldn't use it? You just want it in theory.
Yeah. You know, it's like the comedian says. He's like, you could have turned the glass to butterflies. Could have turned the glass piece to bubbles, but no, you just sat there. It's like, yeah, you're right. So why does he like point at people, make him explode? He could just like undo whatever like bad thing he doesn't want, but he's just like, no, I'm gonna make him like implode. It's like hilarious. It's so funny.
I'm asking a question to chat, and we're gonna do a poll. Would he actually use that power?
No, come on. I mean, you know.
There we go. Everybody, could you please
listen, it doesn't matter because if I did use this power,
poll is up.
There's two scenarios. One, you would never know because it would only be like that person that I'm exploding, right?
Yes.
No, or everyone would know because I would be like outed and I would be exploding everyone to keep myself safe. Right? I'd either use it like, oh, this person's trying to mug me. Well, not in this dark alley, you're exploded. But if it was, if it came out, and they sent the troops after me, I'd be like, well, okay, we have an Akira situation. Time to start exploding people.
It's an Akira reference. Let's go.
No, you know what? That's layered. That's actually a Rick and Morty reference. That's referencing Akira.
Yeah. And it's also got a little bit of like JoJo Part 4 in there, right? I'm sorry, buddy. Like it looks very fair. Like I feel like I'm comfortable in saying that like you lost this poll. Like people absolutely think that you would use your power.
Yo, 16% of you. Magnation, where we at?
16% of you are true Magnation. I feel like the most dedicated of Magnation would be like, oh, he would definitely use it. He would never admit it.
Right.
But he would definitely use it.
Yeah, it's like at the end, I won't spoil specifically, but it's like at the end of the latest The Boys season where that one dude is like, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah!
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to take a draw on this one. I feel like I don't understand you better because of this question, but I do think I understand that despite being like a fairly complex person, you are pretty straightforward, right? Like you're not really much of a,
I think so.
This is an extremely straightforward power. You just point at them and they explode.
Yeah.
In a shower.
Viscerally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can end poll. Interesting. A little bit scary, but okay.
Yeah. Next
question. You've mentioned like lots of times that you're like a big media guy. You like the movies and the shows and stuff like that. Do you have biases toward like a specific genre? You mostly mention like superhero like stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I love superhero stuff. DC. I'm like a DC guy, unfortunately. But I like Marvel. I love superpower stuff. The more like darker themed ones and stuff. My favorite superhero is the Flash. Sadly. But
wait. Why sadly? Can we go back?
Like why? Oh, I don't know if we can talk about it, but like I don't know what's going on with Ezra Miller. Someone needs to help Ezra Miller.
Yeah. He's going nuts.
Don't know what's going on with that situation, but like there's like a Flash movie, and it's like, okay, so what? Ezra Miller is like not going to be the Flash anymore. I don't know what's going on. Also like they like don't know where he is. Like they can't catch Ezra Miller. Like where in the world is Ezra Miller? It's like I feel if I did the things Ezra Miller found, like they would have my license plate, even if I went to like Alaska in the middle of the woods. They'd find me in like a day, you know. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, it's just like the DC live action has been. They have some gems, but you know, they're much to be desired. The Justice League animated series is one of the best pieces of media, like period. I think.
No way. Like
I love the Justice League animated series. They did it so right, so early with all the characters and the plot lines. I mean, it gets really campy because you know it's a cartoon and they did so many episodes, but overall, it was such a good depiction of all the characters. Justice League animated.
It's completely off my radar.
And then there's Justice League Unlimited. I think that was like the second season. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, it was just so good, and they used all the characters so well. And stuff. So that's why the DC movies, like all they need to do is look at what they've already done with their storylines and characters, and they're just dropping the ball. I don't know.
That's really high praise. I might have to look into it. Like, if you think there's like one of the best.
Oh, if you're looking to get into like, DC and Marvel are like flipped. Marvel does the live action stuff really well, or like they used to, but their animated stuff is like hot garbage, literally for like 5-year-olds. On the flip side, DC's animated stuff is like top tier, but their live action stuff is like garbage.
That is really
well.
Interesting.
They've been doing some gems every now and then. I like the Batman with Pattinson. You know,
I watched that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad movies, they were fun. You know, first Aquaman movie is okay. You know, like I don't know, and but yeah. Other than comics, I really like biopics.
Oh,
love biopics. I love the Steve Jobs biopic.
I didn't watch that. Is it good? Is it worth watching?
Yeah, there's two. There's one with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah,
and there's
Ashton
one
Kutcher
with
one is the one that I heard about, but I didn't watch.
Yeah, I've watched both. They're both good. And then there's the second one with oh my gosh, who plays Magneto in the new X-Men?
Magneto?
Oh God, what is his name? No, I love that guy. He's like super handsome. I forget. Rocket Man. With Taron Egerton.
Rocket Man.
That was really good. Yeah, that was so good. Fassbender, Michael Fassbender. Yeah, he's super good. Rocket Man was good. I like the Sam Raimi. Queen biopic. Freddie Mercury biopic.
Freddie Mercury.
I haven't seen the Austin Butler. I think it's Austin Butler. There's an Elvis biopic I'm meaning to watch, but yeah, I don't know why. I really like biopics.
There's like a huge gap. Like I can't think of a bigger gap between like a superhero movie and a biopic.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Huh.
Well, I mean, if I had to say, I like fantasy, right, movies, but it's just that's a rough life. You know?
Yeah. Interesting.
They made Lord of the Rings, and then like, just never again have they hit the. Harry Potter came close, I think.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would give more credit. Like Harry Potter, I think Harry Potter was the last great fantasy sensation. Game of Thrones kinda was like almost, but that they dropped the ball significantly.
I have very strong opinions about Game of Thrones, and I've gotten into like real life arguments, so I just don't talk about Game of Thrones anymore. Like even as like a book series, like I have very strong opinions.
Like positive or negative towards
Oh man, negative.
yeah. And even to begin with, I don't think that the hype was as large as Harry Potter or like also. So I guess world building, like I love. That's why I like comics so much, like comic superhero stuff, because world building is just that makes it. I mean, you can see it with some of these like quote unquote kids cartoons, like Adventure Time.
Yeah,
you know, it's like slapstick and funny, and you know something that you think an adult wouldn't enjoy, but the world building is actually really good.
Yeah.
Same thing with like other shows. I haven't seen some of these, but I'll just take it from here. Say like I hear world building is really good, and like the Owl House, maybe Steven Universe. I don't know. I haven't seen those, but that's what I see. Like when the fandoms are like really big for them, I think it's mostly because of the, you know, it's not because it has super good action or like super good art style. Of course, that's important, but it's because of the world building.
This actually leads into my next question. We could just jump right into it. what do you think is the most important part or element of making a good movie or show? And it sounds like world building. Like, would
oh
be
yeah,
very
100%
top.
world building. Like I said, you can have the most stupidest settings, stupidest characters,
Yeah.
or like wacky, you know, and as long as the world building's good, like people will eat it up. I mean, look at like Undertale, right? It's like visually, I mean, it's got like character. I don't want to say it visually is quote unquote bad, but it's like 8-bit. It looks like something you draw in an Etch-a-Sketch, right? But the world building is so good, and that's why I think people enjoy it.
Do you think you could like get into like meta mode, get into like meta Magni, and like try to try to dissect like what about that like makes it so important to be
it's like escapism, right? You wanna delve into a media, and you know, I like when I was reading books back in the day. When I was reading a book, when I was reading Wuthering Heights or like the Warrior Cat series, but because like, I mean, that's why some of these new superhero movies are so forgettable, because it's like it's not about like being so pretty and having good action and stuff. It's like the world building, and when people leave the theater, they're like, your thing was so fleeting in their head that they're not engrossed in your world, and so they just like forget it instantly. But on the flip side, that's why I think the first, or I don't know if that was the first phase, but like that Avengers phase of Marvel was super popular, is because they did world building really well. World building, man. I mean, that's why all these like, you know, whether it's web comics or children's cartoons, like world building like makes or breaks it, and that's why Lord of the Rings like just
It's so interesting that you mentioned like escapism. So do you think that a truly successful piece of media like gets as many people as possible like imagining themselves inside the world?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I kind of lost my train of thought with that. But yeah, the escapism, like people want to like believe. Well, it's like no one actually believes, right? But
but it's like the Sonic OC, right? There's just a gajillion, like everybody's putting themselves in that world.
They're
right?
just invested. Like maybe, yeah. I mean, some people. I mean, that's a lot of people like inserting themselves and having OCs. But for me, a lot of media, like, because I never inserted myself into like Lord of the Rings or, you know, like Harry Potter or anything like that.
I did.
You have my tea. You have my sword, and you have my bow and my tea.
This is embarrassing, but I self-inserted as a as a Nazgul. Because there's one named
You're making
Nazgul.
fun of me
there's
for
one
wanting Dr. Manhattan exploding powers, but you're OC, you're a Nazgul?
Listen, brother, listen. There's one named Nazgul, and he doesn't even have a name. He's the Witch King of Angmar, right? And the other ones, they don't have any names. It could be anybody. It could be me. It could be you. It could be anybody, right?
Yeah. Wanting to know more, right? That's what's so good about Lord of the Rings. And
absolutely.
This is why Dark Souls is so popular. There's a balance, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, are you being like cryptic, or are you just like not saying anything, right? There's a balance. And I feel Dark Souls goes a little off the handle sometimes, where it's like, no, it's because no, it's the lore, because you need this item and go to this thing and do this thing and like this lore, and like this guy's name is like big wacky hat guy, right?
Yeah.
But like I think that's what's so alluring, like because the Nazguls, like in the first movie, you know, just like, what is that, right? It's like such a simple question, like, what is that? I want to know more, right?
And I know that every Nazgul has a name. Like I've read the Silmarillion.
Yeah,
I know that. It's just I didn't read the Silmarillion when I was 10 years old, dude. My dude, like I didn't read it until I was in college. Like so and this is when I was self-inserting like as a child, you know, like
they do it so well from the get-go. We're gonna end here with just like my last throws of Lord of the Rings, but like the beginning where like he's so, you know, Sauron, you know, Dark Lord, and he's whacking all those dudes with his mace. He's huge, right? And just like they explain it, but not really, because I remember as a kid, I'm like, why is he so huge? You know, why is he so strong? Like, what is he? Like, I want to know more. That's like the best part about Lord of the Rings.
Pretty true.
And just like literature and media and world building in general. Yeah. All right.
I agree 100%. I do feel like this is like a preference or like a taste opinion, because for example, If we get our brother Axel in here, he would probably just be like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I don't care about world building at all. I just want big explosions, like big, like. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with like having different tastes. But I do think that I'm closer to your opinion that like world building and being able to like imagine the world as like an organic thing that's moving and is real and like stuff is happening that you're not seeing, right?
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
it's good. It's really good. It's a key element to like being really loyal to like a piece of media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree with that. Okay, we're gonna move along. We got 2 questions left. Let's get like real spicy here. What are the qualities that it would take to capture the heart of the great Magni Dezmond? Like what makes your heart go doki doki? You know, like I want to know. And members of Mag Nation, please pay close attention.
Yeah,
this one's for you guys.
What I can say, the qualities that I could probably talk about are.
You could probably talk about it.
I like confidence, like not, like they know what they're about, what they want, and they have goals. They're very defined people. I'm not looking for someone to kind of drag along or have to take care of. Of course, and that's not saying like I want to like neglect them or anything, but I like people that are really set with like who they are.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with needing help, but it's a difference between like doing stuff for them and like they're working on a project that is so huge that they need to like collaborate with people, and then you're perfectly fine with that, right? It's just like I think I understand. That's
why I really like Altair. He's very much like that. I think we're all like that, but he's been the most I don't know, like he's come across like I have this specific thing I want to do and this is how I want to do it. Can you help me? Can you be a part of this?
Absolutely.
And I love people like that. Yeah.
And we dunk on Axel, but he is 0% like blob. He's got so much ambition. Like it's just like he's got laser like focus and like music. Boom, he's like a laser beam, right? And then everything else is just like he can barely function, but he's got such a crazy amount of ambition towards music, and everything is focused towards that, right? And it's like it's really admirable. Okay, interesting. Is that the only thing like that?
No, brother. But I think we need to move on.
Fair. Okay. One more question. I think I asked this to Axel. I want to ask this to like everybody that I ever get to interview. Could you tell us one thing about yourself that we would never be able to guess unless you told us this like right now, because it's never going to come up?
Oh man. I don't know, because I feel I wear my heart on my sleeve. Is that the right term?
I would agree. Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Probably. I think people would consider me like quote unquote extroverted, but I'm very not that. I love talking to people, meeting people, but I get very. I'm very withdrawn. Like outside of the social setting and outside of streams, I'm very reserved, and I just want to be left alone.
Interesting.
And I go into my shell and I just like recharge for sure. So that's maybe a more like complicated answer. A simple one, like I really like to take baths. I like to get an old bubble bath.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have to.
Oh wait, I know. I'm scared of balloons.
Why are you scared of balloons? What?
I don't know. I have like legitimate fear of balloons. I don't know. I have never been like diagnosed, but I have extreme anxiety with balloons. Like when they're full of air and like they're bouncing around, like dung dung dung, and stuff in general, like drums. I dislike tires, like big tires. I hate like that airy like boom boom boom, like kind of like resoundingness of the balloons. And balloons are like the best example because they're just so like this. Like I'm getting kind of hives like thinking about it right now. Like I get like, again, I don't know if I have like if there's such a thing as like balloonophobia, but I literally have had like panic attacks. And I'm like, I need to get out of here, like right now. Like I've thought to I think like I know it's a panic attack because I've had it. Seems like people describe it as like just wanting, like I just wish I could die right now. I wish I could just like not exist because I'm having such a visceral reaction to this.
I've actually read a book with a character who had a very similar fear. Like you just mentioned it, tires. The main character had an intense fear of tires because when she was a child, she watched a man fixing a tractor and the tire exploded while he was fixing the tractor. He flew up into the air and landed on a fence and got impaled by the fence and died.
That's crazy.
And then after that, she was afraid of
I mean, that
tires.
makes sense, though, because that's like an associated trauma. I don't think I've ever had anything like that, or I don't know if I'm blocking out of my memory, but yeah.
Is it just a general fear of like popping or exploding? Like,
no, it's definitely
I know
not
you
that.
love exploding. Like I've visited your lab before. Like explosions are perfectly.
It's definitely not that. It's the fact that they're like hollow and filled, and they kind of resound like dong dong dong. I hate that. And balloons are like the most common and thing, but like big drums, big tires, like volleyballs, basketballs. I hate basketballs too. Like the
no kidding.
I hate this like even just like plastic bags filled with stuff like air. I hate it. I hate it so much. I am legitimately getting like hives right now, like shivers. Oh my god.
We should just move on then. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have, and
all right,
man. Thank you for hanging out with me and answering these questions.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about you. The superpower one was kind of like I need to unpack that. I'll be like laying in bed tonight, still recovering from the hot sauce, and I'll be like, what? The superpower one? Yeah, but. Thank you, Des, for hanging out with me.
For sure.
Much appreciated. You're
doing Axel streaming right now, everyone.
Yeah. We'll redirect him right after. But I know you're trying out a Just Chatting stream, right?
Yeah, I'm trying out my first Just Chatting stream tomorrow night.
I'm so hyped. Yeah.
My usual time, I think, or something. Yeah.
It'll be 8, right? 8 p.m. to 10? 8 p.m. to 9, I think.
It's actually an hour earlier for some reason.
Earlier,
I don't
so
know why
7
I did
to 8.
But
there you go.
7 to 8, yeah.
Yeah, everybody please tune in because this guy is so eloquent. Like I feel like he's going to be an amazing like Just Chatter, like his That's It on streamers.
We'll give it a shot.
Yes,
give it a shot.
Yes.
You inspired me to do it because you're just so good at it. I'm literally like sitting there. I'm just like laughing. I'm just like I don't. Yeah. But thanks for coming, everybody. I had a lot of fun.
All right, we're gonna send you over to Axel. Please, give him like sussy advice. I don't know.
I think he's making me.
He's definitely making you based on the thumbnail. Like, and I'm all for it. I'm gonna be watching like while I'm cooling down. Okay, everybody. Thank you and good night. Take care.
See ya.